more or less confident in the Clippers after Harden's debut?
I know it was just one game, and I don't think this is an overreaction to one game, but less.
Oh.
All right. Now, I didn't pick them to win the West. I didn't think they were going to win the West anyway. And they're, to me, clearly a playoff team.
Maybe.
But seeing them, and we knew this in theory, and all you got to do is know the game and look at this and say, that's going to be tough to make that work. But seeing the four of them on the court, and I mean Westbrook, Harden, Kawhi, and Paul George, kind of crystallized it for everybody. Like, when they're on the court together, probably two of them are going to be uncomfortable.
Yeah?
Just because it's almost like Westbrook in L.A., it just wasn't comfortable. I don't think it's that bad of a fit.
In the corner.
Well, Ty Lue said first he's going to have the ball when they're all four of them on the court. And here's the thing. Russ obviously is not a spot-up shooter. Kawhi, PG-13, and Harden can shoot spot up, but that's not really their rhythm. They're used to getting their stuff off the dribble. So there was a time Harden got a wide open shot at the three, wide open, and he dribbled a little to catch a rhythm because that's what they're used to doing. The best thing about these guys, the Harden deal, is if somebody's hurt. So if Kawhi goes down or PG goes down or Westbrook, then it's a fit. But with all four of them, it's tough. They were outscored 47-37 in the 19 minutes they were on the court. If you go small, they were out-rebounded. They gave up 18 offensive rebounds to the Knicks. And with the pick and roll, they were running pick and roll with Ivica Zubac, and he ended up with the ball and kind of passing, which led to some turnovers. This is a huge chemistry experiment for Ty Lue. I think ideally Westbrook would come off the bench, but that could lead to problems if they have to eventually do that.
Go Wildes.
But it's gonna be tough. But they got talent. And they're explosive.
In 19 minutes, the 94.9 offensive rating, that would be last.
Of course, by a lot.
Yeah.
The defensive rating, that'd be 29th.
Yeah.
But it's 19 minutes.
No, of course, 19 minutes.
But one game, it's a big adjustment for these guys.
A few things. Do you know what unlimited possibilities translates to in German? Scary hours.
Oh.
Remember that? It's the same thing, rinse and repeat. I wasn't here for training camp. Why? Yeah.
So you're putting it more on him, mostly on him.
I mean, no, I just don't think it will work at all. I think first of all, I don't want to hear any of these James Harden excuses. Got to play myself into shape. You were invited to a training camp. You were invited to preseason games, and then you showed up and then didn't show. And then this idea that what do you want from me? I've moved around again as if you're an army brat and you're new to a school as opposed to the person making all these decisions. I have no sympathy there. That's first of all. Second of all is this: when the Clippers came into existence with Kawhi Leonard and Paul George, the idea behind why they would be championship contenders is, oh my God, you have maybe the two best, it was laughable, but two-way players, two-way wings in the league. That was the idea.
Right.
Brew, this is going to be a terrible defensive five. Terrible.
Well, that five.
Tough. Well, that's your five. And so, that's your starting five. That's what they hope is their closing five. Maybe as Zubac comes out and you go super small, then you'll be even worse defensively. So if you go through them, Zubac is a D-level defender. Russ is a D-level defender.
Russ's hustle makes up for that.
Okay, so give it a C.
Yeah,
okay, sure. That's fine. When he's happy with his role.
Right.
Which we don't know if it's going to be the case. Harden is a bad defender.
I'll put that.
Kawhi is a good defender.
At this point. He's no longer great.
No, he's no longer great. And Paul George is a very good defender. That's it. So you have that. It's a weird fit.
I think defensively they could be okay because it's team defense. It's not just.
I don't think they're going to be okay.
I got three individual defenders.
I think defensively they're going to be brutal when those five are on the court together. I do.
Checking on the Lakers. AD was hurt. He gave it a go. Okay, something or nothing here, bro.
It's something. All right. AD tried. I give him credit for getting out there and trying to play because he knows the narrative about him, which has been earned, but I give him credit for trying to go out there and play twice after he got injured. Okay? But disregard what he said about Wednesday, I'll be fine. He doesn't know. He thought he'd be fine after halftime. And then it spasmed up, and then he rested a little bit, and he thought he'd be fine again. And it was a problem. maybe he'll be back from this pretty soon, maybe as soon as Wednesday. But overall, this is a problem. All right, his last 3 years, 36 games missed, 42 games missed, 26 games missed, an average of 35 games a year. And the challenge for the Lakers is I don't think, now I know they got some guys missing with Rui Hachimura and guys like that, but I don't think they're good enough to withstand AD missing this many games. Are you going to keep playing LeBron 36 minutes a night? He's playing great, but he can't do it by himself anymore to win games. He can put up the numbers, but winning games in the West, they're in trouble if AD is really injured, and this is something.
Okay, so two things. One is Wildes. Do you remember the full screen you put up last time we talked Lakers last week about league leaders in minutes?
Oh, yeah, that wasn't good.
Who was number one?
Anthony Davis was number one. LeBron was 7th.
Yeah.
I was like, this doesn't. No, it's overtime. I'm like, well, the minutes count.
No, and
they played LeBron 35 minutes in a 20-point blowout against Orlando.
Okay, so that's a very interesting one, because in that game against Orlando, in a stat that feels impossible, but I promise you it's true, LeBron, the Lakers lost that game by 19 points. LeBron played 35 minutes. The 35 minutes he was on the court, they won by 12, which means the 13 minutes LeBron sat against Orlando, they lost, Brew, by 31 points.
I don't get that.
And
rewatch that.
They were down even with him in the game. I mean, they were down 20 the whole way pretty much.
Okay, but in the 35 minutes
that's fine,
okay,
but let's not act like if LeBron can play 48, they're going to be great.
Well, no, that's not the point I'm making. Well, I guess maybe it kind of is if he could play 48, but let me show you, Brew, the season. Let me just show you the season. One game, they've been outscored when LeBron was while he was on the court, Sacramento. And every game, including their wins, Phoenix, they run him when he's on the court.
Is that a Darvin Ham?
No. I think right now it's that there is, because Anthony Davis, by the way, aside from game one, has played excellent this year.
Well, right.
I think right now they don't have a single creator playing well. They don't have a single guy on the perimeter. Austin Reeves started to come on a bit the last couple games.
You know what he's finding out, though? It's a little different when you're now on the scouting report.
We had 24 last night.
No, that's fine, but I'm just saying.
I agree, but
big three, he's not a big three.
I didn't say he was a big three. I said trios. I said best trios. You tried to make it big threes.
Big three.
No.
Best trios is different than being a big three.
A big three would assume that your third best player is a star. Trios, everybody has a trio. We don't have to have this argument. We had it 3 weeks ago when the graphic said best trios, and you guys were like, oh, it's trios. A big three. Yeah.
But the best trio is the worst big three, maybe?
No. Can we have a serious conversation?
D'Angelo thinks he would be that third guy.
I understand that. But right now, the Lakers are in a spot like so many teams have been, which is for some reason they can't survive the minutes LeBron's on the bench, so they're asking the oldest player in the league to play all these minutes. Obviously, he's not being as impactful in the minutes that he's playing as he was in his prime, and when he's not playing, the team just gets rolled, immediately rolled. So certainly they can't sustain if Anthony Davis goes down, not with the way these guys are playing.
You know who's up next? Anthony Davis.
Oh, we do know who's up next.
Stretch out. Sleep in one of those hyperbaric chambers.
Brew, it's the librarian.
And Dylan Brooks.
The librarian, folks.
Are the Cowboys more confident after their loss? Moral victory for Dallas. I like it.
All right, back to the Robert Saleh argument. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get more from the show and to check out clips from other shows on FS1.